Easily influenced.
That's me all day, baby. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna plead guilty to this.
Yeah.
I do get influenced because I remember in my early YouTube watching days, like when I would see like a Fano or something,
No.
I'd like, oh my god, I gotta have that, and then some of like the Tone King amps. I was sort of in like Fano and Tone King and all that stuff. Like it just got me excited.
To be fair, I still want both those things.
See. And these are things I'd never played before at this point. I just seen them
saw
on the
them,
internet.
yeah. Heard them.
You know, it's
Sort of.
there's a whole business built of like, not just influencers or like the people that fashion, but like, I mean, all of us humans that talk on the internet and talk about like, the guitars that we love and the pedals we love and the amps we love have become influencers of certain brands and gears. And it's just like, us as well.
Yeah.
Like we're guilty of this as well. Like we were just sort of self-analyzing ourselves this morning and having like, very philosophical discussions.
As we often do.
Amidst our bagels. Just kidding, I don't eat breakfast, so that's not true at all. That was I want to sound human for a minute. I don't eat bagels and I don't cry.
Never.
It's a problem. I was born without the ability to cry. It's a strange problem.
It's because he's dead inside.
It's a long, true story, though. I don't want to get into truism because it's like, oh yeah.
Because how could you be a pro musician without being dead inside? You can't. It's a trick question.
No, it's well, because like now there's lots of great stuff, and like we're all gear junkies. Right. That's what it is, and that's what we're into this. So obviously we're a guitar shop. We sell guitars and we sell guitar amps and things, and we love that. But we really do just love talking about guitars.
We do.
And that's what this whole thing started with, us just talking about guitars and having fun. And there's a whole, ecosphere of how the economics of this works. And it's going to get deep in a minute because it got deeper than when we started getting into it. But let's just start off on the surface level of like the fun things we see on the internet, not like the fancy expensive toys. Let's just get like, Harley Benton's, Spark amps, Donner, like all like this sort of like stuff that's like become like a hot button of like, hey man, these things are great guitars.
Cheap. Yeah, $160, $200. There's been a whole wave of those. Firefly.
The Spark amp, like I'm gonna jump in on that one real quickly too, because like that's something I would never buy, but it's good. It's good at what it does. Like I don't need it. It's not for me.
It's fun, and I think if you are starting out playing, if you're sort of like an early intermediate player, and you need, especially during the COVID stuff where you can't go out and jam necessarily with people, man, it's cool to have an amp that will build you a backing track around your own progression, or teach you any song you want from Spotify. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, because I think Jack brought it in, and I was like, man, this thing's it doesn't sound that great, but I was like, it's really cool.
It's super cool.
I was like, it's fun too. Like if I was like a young dude or just an old dude starting, I'd be like, this is really fun. Like I can jam by myself. I play with myself every day. I'm very lonely.
All the time. Constantly.
It's
Baxter,
exhausting.
stop playing with yourself. We got work to do.
Gotta be weird. Be a lot of trouble. Why is the office locked again? The studio's locked. There's cameras in there. Stop. Press stop.
Baxter, put down the Gibson.
Now talking about Spark Amp, guess what? We don't have any affiliate links attached to this either. I'm not selling the Spark Amp. I'm not doing that. Sure. But that's a thing that happens too, and that's part of like the influencer range of it. Yeah. Like, people like, well, they'll get these guitars, a low end type of guitar. Let's go into Harley Benton or the Donner stuff.
Donner, whatever. Yeah.
Which I think Harley Bentons are decent quality. Donner's not so much.
Right? There's mixed, I've seen both, but yeah.
Sometimes all over the place, whatever. But the idea of like, why your YouTubers are talking about them and stuff, like, yeah, they're not paying for those guitars. They could pay for them in a second. They cost $150. That's not the thing. But then the whole idea is like, if I do this and I sell it through my affiliate link, I get paid for it.
Right.
And that, that's part of that economic ethosphere. We obviously sell guitars.
Yes.
That's what we do. Like we have a guitar shop. People contact us on the internet or the telephone, and we sell guitars to them.
Hopefully.
I
If we ever disappear, you'll know we stopped doing that. And now we live under the bridge. It's fine.
God, we could live. I walked under the bridge. There's a place right down the street like that you can go behind the Sly Fox. It's a restaurant. It's really cool. It's owned by some cool cats. They're British. They're really fun to listen to. I love to listen to them talk. They have great funny hair. I just said that. And you can go right behind the restaurant. There's under the bridge. There's graffiti everywhere. It's like perfect. It's fun.
We can live right there.
Like I'm like a grown up 40-year-old man like sitting under the bridge like, yeah, what's up, kids? Kids are like, why are you here, old man? Like, yeah, I should go now.
Are you trying to sell us drugs?
No, I'm just hanging out with you kids. You kids
Not
seem wacky
today.
and wild.
Not today. Yeah.
Those shoes with the roller skates attached to them. I love that.
Do they have those now? Heelys? Are they still a thing?
It's still a thing every once in a while. When you see like an older kid doing them, you're like, that is legit.
It kind of
Like
is.
when you see like a
It's like they're
14-year-old,
floating.
like,
I'd kill myself.
find
I would
under the bridge too,
burn
like
my hip. Yeah.
smoking whatever God's green earth is growing for him that day. I don't know if it's a Marlboro or if it's that other fun stuff. Wacky cigarettes, I call them. But the wacky smokes. No, but it's like that's all part of like the YouTubers' income cycle too, and like and I respect it. Like we do it. Like,
we're not at all trashing that. We're just saying be aware of that.
No, it's part of like the cycle, and and you got to come up with stuff to talk about. If like
Sure.
your channel's like you're having a video every week, we have 1 to 2 every day come out.
Luckily, we just ramble, so it's
We just talk trash, but it's all happy, fun trash.
yeah, it's true.
But be aware, like when we choose a brand, we get behind that brand. We love the brand.
Sure.
And we brought in brands that we've stopped carrying because like there might be something that we don't like about the brand, or we have some issues with like their production, and we just hey, it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
It's but we care about like we sell these guitars. We want to be able to have a long-lasting relationship with the manufacturer and with our customers that buy these guitars.
That is important to us.
We want them to feel good about it, that we get behind it. When we get behind something, I don't just like sign up. Like I'm usually on an airplane going out to the factory before I get behind something. That goes from independent makers to the major manufacturers.
I love that everything we sell, we have these relationships where we talk to the either the companies or the builders or whatever. It's not, we're not getting it through third party distributors. We're talking to the folks that build the guitars, and I think that's really important.
Yes, and that's where we take it very seriously what is said out there on the internet and what we say on the internet too, and where these companies' morals come from. And if I see some trash talking out there about a manufacturer, I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it. By contacting that person that is getting trash talked, maybe the trash talker, or I'll check out their sphere. We can easily see everything you've trash talked and sort of track your pattern and see if you are just a mean person that lives under the bridge that isn't a 14-year-old kid smoking pot. But if you're that kid, that's fine. You're cool. When you're wheelies, crushing it. But if you're like that 55-year-old man that's just like, I'm angry because I'm angry, I see it. That happens a lot. And oh my God, it drives me nuts. That's where the internet should be like taken away from you when you reach like my age. And you should take tests with positive energy. Like if you can't be positive and nice and know how to not share bad, offensive things, don't be on the internet.
They probably just need like some of those salt crystal things. It's supposed to fix that, I think.
Or bath salts?
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking
whatever.
about?
I don't know. Christy has some kind of crystal thing in our house.
Why is Dad eating my leg? Jesus, kill him.
It's just a game.
Put Dad down. No, it's oh gosh. So it gets us into this is where it started to turn a little bit. We're talking about like it's all cool. These inexpensive guitars. They're affordable. They're cheap. They're okay. The pickups are kind of lousy. The machine on is kind of cheap. It's not great. It's a little chintzy. They're okay. But is it morally good to buy these guitars? Maybe. Maybe not.
This is where we got into this before. It wasn't where we really planned to go, but
no, it's just we were talking with Derek.
Are we basically making Chibsons legitimate?
100% yes. When I was looking at Reaver and saw like the Brian May Red Special, like Harley Benton, I was like, that's stop. Like, Brian May, like that's his guitar.
Right.
That's his company that he's put like a lifetime of building Queen. Like, let him reap the rewards of creating that guitar and his name behind that guitar. Like that's his thing. Like he built it. It should be his stamp, not just financially, but the soul, the morals of it, like everything. That's his. It's his beast.
Now, you correct us if Harley Benton has licensed that through Brian May, but I'm pretty confident that they have.
Had they licensed the Jazzmaster, the Les Paul Juniors, the Les Paul, the Stratocaster? I mean, no. They have their own. They have a couple of their own little things.
Yeah.
But in general, like almost everyone is, and they just have an HB, right?
Sure.
And like I find that, of course, like we don't sell those. But we talk about a lot of things we don't sell, and I pimp them thoroughly. Like Spark amps, go get yourself one if you're a new guitar player.
They are cool. Think about all the guitar and amp brands that we talk about that we love. Novos. How much do we talk about Novos?
Novos are great. I don't sell Novos.
Right.
You know, like, they're like, well, no one sells Novos. Nova sells Novos.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's a great guitar.
But
We talked about other guitars that we didn't care. Like, we're signed up to bring Gibsons in, but I've always been like, I love Gibsons, but like they're going through their sort of growing pains again. Like, we're waiting for that
the
to
dark
kind of
ages. Yeah.
wrap up, and then because I'm psyched for like the Murphy Labs and all that junk. Those expensive machines that I want to play with.
Well, now, and you brought up a good point. Are the Harley Bittons or the whatever chips and things, are they any different than something like a Gil Euron?
Yeah, so Gil Euron is like a boutique high-end Les Paul that's more in that $10,000 to $12,000 to $15,000 range. One of the best Les Paul type guitars I've ever played.
Oh, they're
One of the best I've ever played. But morally, I'd say it's a tricky situation. It is. If it doesn't say Gibson, it's not a Gibson.
Right.
It needs to be something
Except
else.
it was such a good Gibson-ish thing.
I know that's a tricky one as well. The guitar is so freaking good though. Oh my gosh, those pickups. Oh.
But it brings up so many questions. It makes me rethink Gibson's whole play authentic thing. Maybe, it makes me wish that they had come out with that a little better. So maybe there was a discussion that could have been had there in a more productive way.
No, because like it is weird. Like, and it even goes further. Not even to play authentic and like let's forget the trademarks and copyrights and all that crap. Let's forget the money. Let's talk about the morals of where these guitars are built. A lot of them. Right. So often you are supporting an industry that is not perhaps treating workers great. We can get into the whole like consumer electronics, so like our iPhones are built where, and we all have iPhones in our pockets or Androids, but there's a little more like, eyes on that than some of these guitars that are, maybe not being built under the best of circumstances. Right. I never thought about it really in the same way until we were talking about it. It's like it's challenging for me as well, and I thought about with some of our manufacturers, because we do a lot of manufacturers work from PRS, Defender, to Gretsch, to everybody. Like a lot of things are built overseas. Yep. And they're built in from Korea, Indonesia, China. There's going to be some shifting of some production is going to go from China to Indonesia because China is so backlogged right now with production. So they're going to move it down to Indonesia, which the Overwatch might not be as strong. Sure. I don't know. I hope it is. Right. On the aspect of workers' rights and decent conditions. Don't get me wrong. We can get into the whole economic issue of this thing. It's going to take a generation of low pay to build up into an eventual lower middle class, where that creates the freedoms and the advantages and opportunities for these people to prosper and change the government and change an overriding communist structure to a free market society, possibly it's all about the middle class though. That's but I'm not smart enough to know this. I just want a guitar that plays good.
And and maybe they're all built in wonderful places. But it's something you have. But it's something to think about. Yeah,
I know. I think about that sometimes too. It's why do we buy organic milk or something? Or why would you pay an extra $1 for that? Or farm raised chickens, right? And so chicken farms. It all sort of connects. It's tricky. So that's where So when you're watching all this online fodder, us included, and everyone else out there, there's we're here to talk about guitars. Yes. We're here to, us in particular, are here to spread the joy of guitars. We love selling them too, but this is a fun camp, a fun factory. We want it. But think about where's it coming from? Am I taking from another brand? Am I taking from Brian May's pocket? No, but not his pocket, but I'm taking from Brian May's, his soul, his creation, his birth of that guitar.
Cue the comments. Brian May's rich. He doesn't need it. We'll have a few of those. Maybe not. You guys are great. People who watch
Brian May is rich. Do you know how much charity Brian May actually does? I've looked into it. He does quite a bit. It's pretty impressive. So probably every penny he makes from his guitar thing goes 100% to charity. From what I've seen, his charitable donations are. It's insane what people actually give that are in these like him. He's so smart. He understands how the world works. The more I give, the more love and the more energy and the positive spreads out there. He's a doctor 3 times over. Bastard.
Crazy.
Smart people. I'm so stupid. I can barely finish school.
It's all in perspective now.
No, it's so like just think about listen to all of us out there. It's a fascinating thing. And like that's the joy I found. Like we met so many friends, to the people that have been started with commenting on YouTube, to the other people that have YouTube channels out there. We've made some great friendships across the pond, all the way to Denmark, all the way to California, all the way to Singapore. Great channels out there, all across the United States, obviously, and it's been one of my biggest joys, like in this strange little life I've had, is meeting all these fun people that also share this great content.
It's cool.
But
yeah, it's great chatting with someone from Hamburg, Germany, on Instagram, because we watch each other's channel. It is weird. It's really fun, though.
Hey, guten Tag. We don't say that. We say tschüss. I'm like, okay, cool. Or ciao. Depends where in Germany you are. I learned all these fun little facts.
There you go.
Unless you're formal. Guten Tag. Fräulein. No one says that anymore unless you're watching The Sound of Music, which I just did last weekend.
I did not.
Much more boring than I recalled.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think that's kind of it on that one. I think
that's it.
It's let us know what your thoughts are. This one got kind of deep and a little bit esoteric and like, internally thinking and like soul searching. But every once in a while that can happen. It's kind of like that Matt Lauer Tom Cruise interview years ago, which is one of my favorites. Again, go watch it. It's hilarious. That's when I think Tom just calls him Gib. And I'm on Tom's side in this in a lot of it. Don't get, because Matt Lauer has since come out as not the greatest guy in the world too. Is Tom Cruise going to be the greatest guy in the world at the end of all this?
No one saw it coming, but it's possible.
He's
really pretty.
I mean, and we haven't talked about movies at all this week. Not talking about Tom Cruise. I'm so close. Our theater's just opened. Derek, nobody.
I know.
You ready this weekend? We can't go this weekend. Maybe you have to go this week sometime.
Maybe
during a weekday.
Yeah.
If they're open, I think we have to have a casino.
A movie night.
Tuesday night crew.
We haven't had
They
one.
don't have
like,
those. They don't have the cheap nights
forever.
anymore.
Who cares? We get
I know.
full
I'm paying
price.
full price to go to the movies. I'm just saying I'm going. But no, so go support your movie theaters. A side note, or if you want to, just steal it off of a BitTorrent and don't pay the movies to make these movies.
Yeah.
It's kind of like buying a. Never mind.
Okay, we're off to buy some Harley Benz. It's gonna be great.
But it is. It's similar. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. We're just. That's what we don't know. It's go see Nobody. I've heard it's great. I'm gonna go watch it this week. It looks hilarious. I love that dude from Better Call Saul, Bob Odenkirk, I believe. Because I used to watch Mr. Show with Bob and David. Another fun fact: watch Mr. Show with Bob and David. A brilliant David Cross, Bob Odenkirk, brilliant sketch comedy show on HBO from the 90s, I believe. Hilarious, ridiculous, hilarious. Pre-Better Call Saul years. Anyway, that's all we got to say.
All right, I'm going to watch it. Hit like and subscribe. Click that bell. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
I have no idea what we started talking about.